What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Buzz. Khamzat Chimaev has set his sights on a new challenge, Alex Pereira at 205 pounds. The undefeated UFC star expressed his ambition to move up to light heavyweight and chase a second world title, aiming to become a double champion. In a recent interview, Chimaev confidently declared, "If you ask me, of course I'd love to fight for the second belt. It's no secret that the guy who holds the title at 205 right now is a great matchup for me. The only real danger is if I get reckless, while standing with him because everyone knows he has serious knockout power." Chimaev pointed out that Pereira, like himself, used to fight at middleweight before moving up, and that gives him confidence in his chances. He fought at 185 too, then moved up to 205. "I'd like to test myself there as well. I'm ready for that challenge," he said. Despite his clear interest in Pereira, Khamzat emphasized that he isn't fixated on any specific opponent. "Whether they give me Nassourdine Imavov, Marvin Vettori, or anyone else, I don't care. Just pay me good money and I'll show up to fight," he added. Chimaev ended with a bold statement that reflected his fearless attitude toward competition. "If you truly consider yourself the best, then it shouldn't matter who's standing across from you. I'm here to prove I can beat anyone in any division at any time." This statement reinforces Chimaev's growing legend as one of the UFC's most dangerous and confident fighters, a man always looking for the biggest challenge, and now eyeing a potential clash with one of the most feared strikers in the world, Alex Pereira. Before moving on to the next news, we have a quick request for you. We're always working to improve our content and truly value your support. If you could take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon, it would mean a lot to us. That way you'll never miss an update. Move on to another news. Merab Dvalishvili recently shared his thoughts on the upcoming matchup between former double champion Henry Cejudo and rising prospect Peyton Talbott, scheduled for UFC 323. According to Merab, he believes Cejudo still has what it takes to secure a much-needed victory and end his current three-fight losing streak. During an interview, Merab reacted with surprise upon hearing about the fight, saying, "Henry Cejudo on the card? Wow. Against Peyton Talbott? I know that guy. The young fighter with curly hair and a tattoo on his arm. He lost earlier this year when I fought at Umar, but he came back strong and won his next fight. He's a talented kid, very confident, but still young in the game." Despite acknowledging Talbott's potential, Dvalishvili expressed faith in Cejudo's experience. "Henry will beat him," Merab said confidently. However, he also pointed out that the fight could be more competitive than some expect. "It's a tough matchup for Henry because lately he hasn't been wrestling as much or using his grappling the way he used to. If he decides to lean on his wrestling again, I think he can win, but it depends on his conditioning. He can get tired if he hasn't been training properly." When asked if he truly believed Cejudo wasn't training enough, Merab paused and admitted, "I'm not sure. I don't really know his routine, but from what I've seen, he doesn't look as active or hungry as before. Still, I hope Henry wins this fight. He's a legend, an Olympic gold medalist, and a two-division champion. You can never count a guy like that out." The conversation then shifted toward a possible future matchup between Merab and Henry. When asked if he would fight Cejudo next, Merab smiled and replied, "Maybe. Who knows? If Henry wins and gets back on track, that's a fight I'd definitely be interested in. But for now, I just want to see him come back strong." Dvalishvili's comments reflect both respect and realism. He recognizes Cejudo's incredible accomplishments while also acknowledging the physical and mental challenges that come with returning after consecutive defeats. As UFC 323 approaches, fans are eager to see whether Henry Cejudo can silence the critics, prove Merab right, and show that the triple CCI mentality still reigns strong inside the octagon. Move on to another news. Michael Bisping and Paul Felder recently discussed the upcoming matchup between Henry Cejudo and Peyton Talbott at UFC 323, calling it a high-risk, high-reward opportunity for the young prospect. Both analysts agreed that while Talbott is talented and confident, facing a former double champion and Olympic gold medalist like Cejudo is a massive leap in competition, and stylistically, a dangerous one. Bisping admitted he didn't see this matchup coming. "Cejudo versus Talbott, not a fight I would have predicted," he said. "That's a tricky one for Talbott. It's a tough stylistic matchup because if I remember correctly, his only loss came when he was out-grappled." Felder agreed, recalling Talbott's first defeat. "Yeah, he got out-wrestled and controlled. He's 10-1 now with 8 stoppages. But that loss to Raoni Barcelos came by decision. He bounced back nicely, got a win over Felipe Lama, but now he's stepping in there with Henry Cejudo. That's a huge step up." Bisping continued, emphasizing just how much of a challenge Cejudo's wrestling and fight IQ present. "We're talking about one of the greatest combat sports athletes of all time, an Olympic gold medalist, a two-division UFC champion. Stylistically, that's a real problem for Talbott. Cejudo Cejudo's grappling, his chain wrestling, and his experience against elite competition make him a nightmare matchup for almost anyone. Felder agreed, but pointed out that big risks can come with massive payoffs. It's one of those fights, high risk, huge reward, he said. If Talbott somehow goes in there and beats Henry Cejudo, that loss to Barcelos doesn't even matter anymore. You're immediately in the mix with the division's top names. You don't beat Cejudo and then fight unranked guys. You're suddenly a serious contender. Both commentators concluded that Talbott's youth and striking ability could make things interesting, but his ability to handle Cejudo's relentless pressure and world-class wrestling would be the deciding factor. Hopefully, he's polished up his takedown defense and grappling since that last loss, Bisping added, because if not, Cejudo could really expose that weakness again. In the end, both Bisping and Felder agreed. While the fight offers Talbott a huge chance to prove himself, Henry Cejudo remains the clear stylistic favorite and a major problem for the rising star. Move on to another news. Dana White has confirmed that the UFC's first ever event on Paramount is officially in development and could feature some of the sport's biggest stars, possibly including Ilia Topuria. During a recent media interview, Dana revealed that matchmaking for the historic January card began earlier that very day, hinting that the UFC is planning something special for its network debut. "We literally started matchmaking today," Dana said. "The team is working on the first Paramount card and it's going to be a big one." When asked directly if featherweight champion Ilia Topuria could appear on the event, Dana smiled and replied, "It's a possibility." The potential of Topuria headlining the UFC's first Paramount broadcast would mark a major milestone for both the promotion and the Spanish-Georgian star, who recently captured the featherweight title and has become one of the sport's most exciting new faces. In the same conversation, Dana also addressed other high-profile names and possible fights in the works. He praised Charles Oliveira's recent win over Matheus Gamrot, describing it as a crazy performance, and acknowledged the Brazilian's post-fight call-out of Max Holloway for the BMF title. "That's obviously a fight that would be incredible to see again," Dana said. "Those two always bring it. We don't have anything official yet, but we did talk about it today." White also touched on the middleweight title picture, specifically mentioning Khamzat Chimaev's first title defense and how potential contenders could earn a shot. He confirmed that Brendan Allen and Roman Dolidze were both discussed in matchmaking meetings, hinting that a spectacular performance could push one of them into title contention. "Let's see how the fight plays out," Dana said. "We did talk about Khamzat today. We talked about a lot of guys. It's all about how the rest of this year goes." With the UFC preparing for major events like the White House card and the Paramount debut, Dana emphasized that the promotion's next steps will depend heavily on upcoming results. "A lot of things are going to depend on how the end of this year plays out," he concluded. If Topuria does headline the Paramount card, it would mark not just another defense for the new champion, but a symbolic start to a new era in UFC broadcasting, combining the sport's rising stars with a massive television platform. Move on to another news. Corey Sandhagen believes the time has finally come for him to face Sean O'Malley, calling it the fight fans have been waiting for. Both top bantamweights are coming off recent losses to Merab Dvalishvili, and Sandhagen says the matchup now makes perfect sense for the division and for the fans. In a recent interview, Sandhagen didn't hesitate when asked what's next. "Yeah, for sure," he said. "I think me and O'Malley has to happen. If there's ever a time to do it, it's now. I don't know if he's booked on anything, but that White House card would be sick to fight on against O'Malley. I think there's one fight people have been calling for over and over again, and is me versus him." Sandhagen suggested that a potential showdown between the two could be one of the biggest non-title fights in the bantamweight division. "If you threw us on that White House card, it would be a gigantic fight," he continued. "It's still a little ways away, which I'm not thrilled about, but for such a huge event against such a good fighter, it'd be worth waiting for. It's a big opportunity for both of us and something the fans truly want to see." The interviewer raised a concern about timing, noting that O'Malley last fought several months ago and might not return until next year. Sandhagen made it clear he's flexible with scheduling as long as the fight happens. "March would be fine," he said. "I don't really want to wait that long either, but that card's going to be historic. A lot of people are going to watch it, so that's pretty cool. But if it means fighting earlier, even headlining another event, I've got no problem with that either." For Sandhagen, the motivation isn't just about timing or venue, it's about legacy. "That's the biggest fight you can make in the division outside of a title fight," he explained. "It makes perfect sense right now. We're both coming off tough losses to Merab. We're both still top guys, and stylistically, say, it's the fight fans have wanted for years. Corey Sandhagen's message was clear. He's ready to face Sean O'Malley next, whether it's on the historic White House card or another major event. And he believes the timing couldn't be better for one of the most anticipated matchups in the bantamweight division. Move on to another news. Khamzat Chimaev has publicly accused Sean Strickland of bringing a weapon to the gym after a dispute that began over text messages. According to Chimaev, the confrontation occurred while he was training at Extreme Couture and stemmed from a misunderstanding in a gym group chat. In a recent interview, Chimaev described the episode and the language barrier that complicated the situation at the time. He said that, while Strickland had been normal when they trained together, things escalated after an exchange in the group chat. One time I got angry with him, Chimaev explained. The next day, he was walking with a gun. I thought he would attack me. Chimaev recounted that the dispute started when a fighter from Chechnya posted in the gym chat. Misunderstanding the message and struggling with English, Chimaev responded angrily, writing, "You're American chicken." He says the other fighter later claimed Chimaev had misread the comment and that the whole situation was a language-fueled misunderstanding. I spoke English badly at that time, Chimaev admitted. I couldn't explain precisely what happened because he believed the message contained an insult about Chechens. Chimaev said he reacted immediately out of caution and anger. I realized he said something bad, so I attacked him just in case, he said, acknowledging that the confrontation was impulsive. Chimaev's account frames the incident as a volatile mix of cultural pride, mistranslation, and heightened emotions inside a close-knit training environment. The allegation that Strickland carried a firearm to the gym is serious, and if accurate, would raise questions about safety and conduct at training facilities. Chimaev's version emphasizes that miscommunication played a central role and that he now views the episode with some reflection, noting his limited English at the time and the intensity of the moment. At present, Chimaev's claims remain his account of events. There's been no public confirmation from Strickland in this report, and no official statement from the gym or law enforcement has been cited. The exchange highlights how quickly tensions can escalate in combat sports communities, particularly when cultural differences and language barriers intersect with strong personal pride and competitive temperaments. Move on to another news. Khamzat Chimaev recently fired back at Daniel Cormier after the former UFC champion criticized his performance against Dricus du Plessis, a fight many fans labeled as boring. During an appearance on Alanbek Badev's channel, Chimaev addressed Cormier's comments directly, and the clip quickly went viral across social media. Cormier had suggested that Chimaev relied too heavily on his double-leg takedowns and was becoming a one-dimensional fighter. Despite their previously friendly relationship, Khamzat didn't hold back. He made it clear that he doesn't take such remarks lightly, especially coming from someone he once respected. "People think I only wrestle, but they forget what I did to my opponents standing up," Chimaev stated confidently, defending his all-around skill set. The undefeated Chechen went on to discuss a potential fight with middleweight champion Alex Pereira, breaking down the stylistic matchup in detail. He praised Pereira's knockout power, calling his punches like bombs, but emphasized that if he sticks to his wrestling, the fight would strongly favor him. "If I take him down once, it's over. He's powerful, yes, but not built for my kind of pressure," Khamzat explained, showing the same mix of confidence and strategy that has defined his rise. Chimaev also touched on his ongoing tension with Sean Strickland, revealing he tries to avoid running into him in public. "If I see him, things will get out of control," he admitted. However, he insisted he doesn't want unnecessary altercations, especially in the US, saying it's difficult to reason with people there due to a different mindset. The fiery interview gave fans a rare look at Chimaev's emotional side, a mix of pride, frustration, and determination. While he's often known for his calm aggression inside the octagon, this exchange showed how seriously he takes criticism, especially from respected veterans like Cormier. Whether this tension turns into mutual respect or grows into a full-blown rivalry remains to be seen. But one thing is clear, Khamzat Chimaev isn't backing down from anyone, inside or outside the cage.